Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. It's week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans taking on Lamar Jackson and the Philadelphia Eagles.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. 2 one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that will be a touchback. Here comes the Tennessee offense, and you see Ryan Tannehill leading them out.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up 2nd down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, Tannehill. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill. Middle of the field, he finds Pascal. And he has another 1st down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. 7 yards to pick up there.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. They run for the first time with Javonte Williams. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Now they'll get the yardage on the run and get 15 more for good measure.
Yeah, that wasn't too difficult to spot. You heard the sideline erupting, and the flags came out almost immediately.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Now Williams running left. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field. All right, this is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Samaje Perine, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Titans have taken a first quarter lead. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. KJ Hamler returning it. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here come the Eagles for their initial possession of the game. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup. Threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
They go play action now. Jackson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A big play there for Philly. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Jackson's throw here into the hands of Harry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Jackson from the shotgun. Quick slant to Hamler. Touchdown, Eagles! KJ Hamler, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Evan McPherson now for the PAT. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw taken in by Jarwin. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Tannehill. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. And Marquez Callaway, the one he was looking for. But now it'll be 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, Tannehill. On the right side, open is Gesicki. That catch good for only a couple. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Again, Tannehill. This is caught by Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
And McManus able to put it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Jackson on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. They go play action with Jackson. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise, as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their 38. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down." They love being physical.
Now Pirine. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Tannehill. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game, because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. This one swung out to Williams. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
To the air again, Tannehill. He'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
This will be incomplete. Oh, a dream chance for a D lineman, but he couldn't pull that one in.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
On 2nd and goal, Tannehill. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Tannehill now to throw. And that is incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs. Able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. The kick by McManus is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to her, partner. Just do it.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On first down, it's Tannehill. That's into the hands of Pascal. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Nashville, the Music City, with the Titans out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin out in Houston, and it's the Broncos who are out in front. Kenny Golladay, a touchdown reception. From there, it's off to North Carolina to check on the Panthers at home in Charlotte. And that one all tied against the visiting Saints. In our game has been Ryan Tannehill, who's had the hot hand in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead.
It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle.
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. Throwing on second and long. Jackson going deep here for Allen. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now it's Jackson. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. That one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Now Callaway on the return. So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
Tannehill's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Now we really get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Tannehill. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here we go with Williams. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Eagles defense able to hold. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw there complete to Allen. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. Yeah, he's frustrated as it falls incomplete. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Throwing is Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw taken in by Adams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. And Callaway taking it in left side. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tannehill. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. On 1st down. It's Williams, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot, versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Tannehill. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he would end up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Throwing again on second down. Tannehill throwing the out route incomplete. That's Adams. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Zone touchdown, Tennessee. Davante Adams there to make the grab. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Tannehill looking to throw. And he's got it. So the try for two successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Hamler now to return it. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
P. Ryan again on second down. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now it's Tannehill off the bootleg. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, this from 39. And McManus able to put it through, and that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, Jackson. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Oh, the return is Callaway. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And it'll be Titan football. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And they look to finish strong in this 4th quarter. And this is a unit that certainly has turned things around from a week ago. Just a much more productive all-around ball game. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Now Tannehill. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
But listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Now a carry for Pirine. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And that is incomplete. But the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's Jackson. And now here is another interception. He's picked off at his own 46. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run again with Pirine. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 42 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ballgame. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Here's Pirine. Carl Nassib there on the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it here with Pirine. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the 1st quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the 1st quarter and just shut everything down from that point on.